Hello, hello, YouTubers. Hello, welcome, everyone. Welcome to VINO Fridays. Ah, hi, everyone. Hello, Ramus. Hello, little K, Ramus. There you go. We talked about the VINO Fridays. There you go, Ramus. It's back. Since this is kind of been one of the things that I've been doing on my other channel, my personal channel, Lila Kulasova. So I'm going to be doing Vina Fridays on Friday here on this channel again. So, hey, Teresa, welcome. Good to have you, darling. So, Vina Friday. I'm all out of bubble gum. That's my title today for today's talk. So I'm just going to be kind of talking about all kinds of stuff and hopefully continue to answer the questions, you guys. Again, from the last live, there was so many good questions, you guys. And so I wanted to just kind of today have a little bit more of a casual conversation. How we going to come back and be what we truly meant to be as humanity. So, of course, I'll be talking about how we're going to be transforming and transmuting all of this stuff. And yes, some of those subjects that I'm talking about, yes, they are kind of difficult, they are. And so it's hard to kind of, sorry, you guys, my thing is a little bit, all right. So it's kind of, difficult subjects that we're gonna have to cover. So that's why, like in last few lives, I'm trying to kind of introduce things in a fun way because that's the way we're gonna heal right now. Because those of you guys that are here with me, you all know that you're here because you've been on your healing journey yourself. And so here right now, you're here with me, continuing that journey. Okay. So anyway, I'm gonna get comfortable in here. Sorry. All right, you guys. So here's to all of you out there, to your personal journey that you went through, and whatever you did pick up on your way up that a mountain that I talked about. That's been my metaphor. As we go up the mountain, we're incarnated here on behalf of our ancestors. So we're, of course, are going to go through our ancestral healing in this lifetime, because this is what I've been talking about in our soul group back in 2014 and 2015. And so here we are back 10 years ahead of that time, and just kind of checking back in on what it is that we as humanity closing what on this 10-year cycle, and what it is that we're transforming and transmuting. And so this is why I'm kind of bringing up this very difficult subjects, because this is what we have been surfacing within this last, especially few years, right? For us as humanity to transmute and transform. So um, thank you, Teresa. You said so grateful to you sharing your journey. And I'm so grateful to you, Teresa, and you, Ramus, and Lil K, and everyone, whoever's listening, comments, and likes this videos. Thank you so much for being here on this journey, because you are on this journey for your ancestors. And I'm so glad that our ancestors, um, they're putting us together here in this reality to kind of work it through all this. Look how different we have such a different backgrounds and things like that. But yet this healing process, and this is what ultimately I came out and I was talking about, that our healing process is going to be like grieving process. Thank you, Lil K. You said you admired the and respected the strength, my strength. It's faith is what got me through, and my experiences starting from childhood. And this is why when I was talking about it, I knew that the experiences that I went in childhood would provide me with that strength that I needed to go through what I needed to go through here, what I just been through. Zeus, you don't want to go sleep? No, you don't like this situation. He wants to be outside. So here's to all of you guys, whoever's been on this journey, on this quest of healing and rising up and elevating. So basically when Zeus is 17 and a half years old, Zeus, he does not like to be on my lap anymore. He's got a lot of little issues so he's very picky about his situations. And he's very stubborn too because, I please him. Oh my goodness. By the way, Ramus, you were talking about vinos. I think the last time I drank vino, it was when I was here doing the last Vino Friday. I really don't drink wine. This is all just for the show, you guys. It was an idea back then because I know it's Friday night. And those of us that on our healing journey, this is when we're resting and we have our time to sort of feed our soul. And a lot of us like a glass of wine, which is nothing wrong with it. Although some of the boo boo kiddies don't like it. They go, "Oh, you drink it again, alcoholic Lily." All right. It's been a while since I drink wine. Anyway, but I do like having the Vino Fridays because it's kind of gives me a little bit more, have a little bit more casual approach with a little bit of laughters to life, right? And I thank you guys. You're so grateful for sharing my journey. It's not easy. Sometimes I go like, why can't I just, not talk about it? But it's like, oh boy, I have to talk about it. And well, you said it's the best tag, Vino. I didn't know that. I should do that because, well, today I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about tarot readings and things of that nature. And I actually forgot my cards upstairs. So I don't think I'm gonna get them, but I did pull cards, and again, the card 23, the point of eternity, came out. So once that came out, once I just opened the cards to see what's the energies coming through, when that came out, I'm like, okay, I'm closing the back up, and then I'm just gonna leave it. It's up to me now. But yet, I was gonna talk a little bit about um, tarot cards. The reason I wanted to bring that up, you guys, today, because there is a lot of authentic energy readers that do use cards out there that do give us a really good reads on what's going on the energies and the sort of all of this transformation that's happening like on energetic level. So there's good couple of those that I do follow. So I do listen to those, and a couple of them I do know personally and done some personal readings and questions and things like that. Um, the lady I recommended, Little K, I don't know. It's the one that did the reading for me on the Masons. But the reason she did it because I know her from the past, and it just kept coming up, and there's other things that kept connecting. So as you guys can see, she was doing my personal read, but she's like, it's collective. It's almost like I don't have, even including in my zodiac, right? In my horoscope, right? Thing. I don't have um any planets in my first house. Everything, my second house is so busy. So, which means my life is all about other people. It's not about me. It's about in like I said many times that I am incarnated here on behalf of my ancestors. It has been my journey, and I've been aware of that journey, and this is why I'm writing a book as well, and I don't know when it's going to come out, when I'm going to finish it, when all of this creative projects are going to be ready to come out. But I know one thing, that if I rushed with any of my projects or anything that I was doing, and I didn't listen to the um sort of that higher mind that's driving this collective transformation. I had to be so attentive to that energy that it really is. I had to be very careful and do a lot of things alone by myself, but I do them for on that level where it's how it does apply to the collective or the ancestral level healing that we all sort of need to go through. So basically, this is what my whole thing, and even when I go through it, you guys, right? When I go through something like this, what I just went through, right? Documenting, literally documenting Department of Justice corruption on such a high level treason, the high level treason, high level degree of treason, and go through it as a victim, as an undercover journalist, in order to document all this abuse and all this corruption, treason of the highest degree, and go through it. And I had to go through it, survive it to tell my story. Because how many journalists have gone before me that are not here today? There is more journalists killed in America than there is in Russia. How ironic is that? Communist Russia treats their journalists 100 times better than United States of America. And to survive all of that and come out of it, and now to turn around and say, how do I apply? I know that, okay, it's insulting. And this is what I said. Once I got into it and I started seeing for what it is, the DOJ, and the whole system, how corrupt it is. I mean, it's so the low intellectual levels of like the judges, the district attorneys, those that, I mean, Supreme Court justices. I got to see their true nature and their true IQ levels. Oh boy, the I mean the intellectual standard for our justice is below. I there is doesn't go any lower than what we have in United States of America. It's insulting. It was insulting to my intelligence to see that. It was so, it's like breaks you. And me knowing that 20 years ago how corrupt it is, still I was in shock. It was worse than Gulag, for you guys to be honest with you. It's worse than Gulag because it's all under the cover of, ah, we're so good. It's all our democracy. Ooh wee. A democracy. Remember how I was talking about Guardian of Pedophiles, Alan Dershowitz, professor at Harvard Law School, came out of the closet as guardians of the pedophiles. It doesn't get any lower than that. It doesn't get any lower than that. So when the people say, "Lily, are you sure you got a case for United States government using your constitutional rights as um, a weapon against you with military? Do you think you have the case?" It's not just for me. It's on behalf of every American. I've got that much evidence. It's on behalf of every American that DOJ had used our constitutional rights against us. So imagine if the investigation goes, I mean, if one case, that means every judge, every case. If one department, that means all those years have to be investigated. So imagine the humongousness of this thing. It is scary, scary. That's why it's kind of has to be. But the most shocking thing, Lil K, throughout this whole thing is learning how how low the intellectual standard is. Extremely low. And that's why, in a way, it's like, wow, that's why God sent me because, I just, I don't even think it, but I'm already like talk backwards. My words are all messed up. I'm blonde, looking aloof, all of that stuff. They'll never figure out that I'm undercover. But it's extremely I just locate just the reason why I'm a little late to the live thing because I was stuck on the phone talking with somebody in New Mexico that's got a huge case of the same thing, constitutional rights being used against us as a weapon, and it's documented again. And so it's like, oh, okay, so here's New Mexico. So I already got a New Mexico coming on board and people with cases, right? Just like I am in contact. You guys know that GoMTV attempted to um, steal my intellectual property, and they've done that through. And this is where the whole thing ended up here in California with the Rosicrucian Fellowship. It's all connected to GoMTV attempting to steal my intellectual property because that's what Rosicrucian Fellowship was intending to do is because they did steal Max Heindel intellectual property and the land. So that's originally actually what I investigated here as well. So yes, Gaia TV, Go MTV, yes, Go MTV. Confused Jews, like confused Ellen Dershowitz. Ellen Dershowitz is confused American. And confused Jew too. And remember how he went in 2006 on record. Professor of Harvard Law School goes on record covering up crimes against children in Epstein's case, 2006. Gets district attorney go incriminate himself, right? In covering up crimes against children. It's all on record. And then he goes back and teaches what can that criminal teach at Harvard. But no, Harvard are not guardians of pedophiles. Alan Dershowitz has been covering up for crimes against children for a long time. Years and years and years. It goes back to Clinton's, goes back to all of them. But we in this country respect Harvard lawyers. What can Alan Dershowitz teach them but how to cover up crimes against children? And that's exactly what they did with Ghislaine Maxwell trial. How many victims do you guys think in Ghislaine Maxwell trial? True victims. Hundreds, thousands. Thousands at least, if not millions. Children underage. Yet when her trial, supposed trial was happening, not one victim, an actual victim. The victims that were presented to us by half retarded graduated from Harvard, the ones that learn and earn their law degree, taught to them by guardians of pedophiles at Harvard, like Alan Dershowitz, they accidentally on purpose think that Ghislaine Maxwell's clients, the ones that used and abused those children, are the victims. That's basically what happened. This is Ghislaine Maxwell trial for you. That's DOJ coming out of the treasonous crimes against children closet. They done it for years. There's no other way but for our military to clean up this treasonous shit. And so all of those confused Americans, they think that they have double citizenship. They think they're safe. They're not safe. They're not safe. So all of those confused Americans that think they can run to Israel, they have the double citizenship. The ones in the government, you guys need to look into this. Timothy Burchett, Republican, on 22924. There's a House bill, HR 7484-118th Congress. Okay, and so this is a dual citizenship disclosure act. This is what's going to solidify everyone who was ever in public office with a dual citizenship as treasonous. Yeah, it's exposure time. They can't run from it. They can't hide. I mean, I was just talking to Robert in New Mexico, what's been going on. The judges in there are literally committing horrific crimes, including killing people. Yeah. So imagine the fact that I'm still here. It's amazing. Zuzik. So yeah, Goyim TV is there is one little office that is a 3-story. It's probably like and then there is 2 other so this is the actually where they do that their shows and all of that stuff. And there's other 2 big buildings. They're like 4 times bigger than the other one. And there's 2 of them with a huge security. Those are 2 CIA buildings. So GoMTV is the CIA organization. And this is what you guys, this book right here, Best of Enemies by Gus Rosso and Eric Desenhall. This book, I mean, you see much stuff I have in this book. Oh my God, you guys, if I were to show you the things in here, how I read books. But anyway, this book is basically exposing CIA and CIA and KGB connections. Okay, so this is actually goes back in this book. It actually reveals secrets. So secrets, Masons have been master Masons have been downgraded to managers of secrets. So managers of secrets really wanted to keep a secret that KGB and CIA both report and take orders from Mossad. That was the big secret throughout the whole war. Yeah. That's the big secret in America, the Cold War with Russia, with Soviet Union, because both the KGB and the CIA for America, in America, CIA were both operating and controlled through Mossad. And this book is actually, I mean, this is all based on the true story. It's all shows here and all the records and everything. A lot of the stuff of how Soviet Union operate, all of the KGB, and this is something that was a big secret in KGB, and this is why it was a huge thing because, like, why none of the KGB would were able to live alive because those that knew those secrets in KGB, they didn't allow KGB because that would too much to live alive. That's why none of the KGB agents ever survive anything because they would kill them because that was the big secret. Because if that would to come out in America, that actually American CIA is taking orders from Mossad, and that Mossad at the same time giving orders to Soviet Union, and Mossad of course controlled, that whole Cold War. But they couldn't tell that to Americans because that's treason. Treason, I mean, treason. It's treason. So all of that. So this is why they can't hide. Masons can't hide because it's gonna all come out that they were behind all the wars on in the world. So everything is orchestrated and controlled. It's just that by controlling media, they were controlling the outcomes. But that is no longer the case. So that's why it is, like I was saying, in 2014 and in 2015, it is direct disclosure. And that's why even my documentary film Keystone is possible because it wouldn't be possible even 5 years ago to make a documentary about the fact that Jean Benet Ramsey murder was Masonic ritual and that it was covered up by Boulder County government. And it's been, and the whole system's been stealing kids, our children, through justice system. All right, Remus, you're saying we kind of know without knowing because in a duality setup, every action must triangulate first. And yeah, and it's kind of interesting, Ramus, you bringing this up. Masters of Secrets, little case. Yes, they've been downgraded, exposed. Masters of Secrets. Triangulate first. Yes. So anyway, yes. So what they do is, see, in United States CIA, what they did is they quietly infiltrated from within, just like infiltrated Russian royalty, all got infiltrated from within. That's how they operate. And this is why I bring up so much Eisenhower betrayal, because Eisenhower was the one who actually he was a general who played a huge role in allowing the traitors of America to come into United States military. That's why Eisenhower betrayal is very horrific for America, because when he was a general, that's when he actually betrayed America, way before he was a president. And then when he was a president, that was his kind of um, that was his reward for betraying United States military, because that's what he betrayed. And like I said, if honestly, this is not a secret anymore. So managers of secrets, come down a little bit, close your ears. If you think that you don't have appropriate degree to hear this, close your ears, boo boo kitties. Close your ears. Um, it's just that they, like I was saying in the past, once the secret is revealed about how the magic done, they can't present it as magic anymore. So they can't present this like If, let's say, people would truly know what truly happened with, like, let's say, World War II, right? How it started. Someday when we will find out, people will be throwing up still when they know real truth. It was an inside job. Same thing in Russia as it was in Germany, in Ukraine, I mean. So what happens is, with managers of secrets, and so what happens is, with when they triangulate, then Ramus, it doesn't work. So, like, it doesn't work. So what they did is they infected all our justice system, and then so military and justice system, right? So military got infiltrated and all of that stuff got implemented. And this is what I was also kind of can look back, and in Keystone it will come out. It's all this pharmaceutical thing, and it goes back to when Eisenhower decided to cover up that, that, and with CIA, they covered up and brought all the Nazi scientists into America. They given them American names, and told Americans on the news that they recover some Americans, but those were all Nazi scientists with their families and everything. And they were hiding them in the military. So that's when originally military fell, actually. Well, it was before that, but this is when it's like, when it's on record, when it was that conspiracy is actually what happened. So, and it's true. And later, all this time later, people know a paperclip um, um, project, right? So that was that. So all of that cover up, and this is, here's your NASA, here's all of that was born out of it. And then here's your Scientology comes into play. Here's your um, satanic rituals that were done all over America and all of that stuff. And then here's your Mormons become really popular and took over the whole state and everything started slowly eroding from within, and the erosion just went on and on and on. So by the time 2020 came, or 2019, I felt like it was time for that. It was so eroded to where it would be like, like a pooling the root that's completely it's like, it's bunch of gunk. It's dead root. So it's basically, but still disrupts everything else around it. So in 2019, right, it was pretty obvious that we're pretty much on that bottom in America. We will hit the bottom. You will hit the bottom with the corruption and all of that stuff, to where it became obvious, and that this is Soviet states of America. It just kind of, everybody all of a sudden realized that that's what it was. Well, actually, it was Stalin's plan. Stalin and Hitler planned this take over of America the way it was, including the cover up of bringing the Nazi scientists into America. And Nazi scientists started experimenting on military kids and on military. This is when the experiments originally undercover started on our military. So that's why our military has to clean up their backyard first before they can clean up anything else. Because United States of America, at least 2 children every 24 hours disappears. That's just what FBI reports. 2 children in United States every 24 hours. That's not talking about how many illegally have the legal system, the justice system sees children. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about CPS system. That's just what FBI reports as missing children that nobody could find. Those are just children that go for. I'm not talking about sex slaves that are children. That's the biggest business in the United States is children's prostitution. And that's the thing, you guys, and this is the biggest problem. And in like with the Rosicrucian Fellowship here in Oceanside, California, a lot of their members used to be child prostitutes. Because that's the thing. And when I go in there, they immediately tell me that they're under Masons and that the law does not apply to them. And if they decide to overdose me, that's what's going to happen. If they decide that somehow I went to Mexico and never come back, that's what's going to be the case. And they started it and went on record with Oceanside Police setting me up for death. It's like they don't have any conscious awareness of what they're doing because uh like this whole thing they don't understand. They just only these people. And like I've realized, I mean, you think that you're dealing, I mean, I didn't just deal with the Department of Justice. I dealt with Secretary of State in Colorado. It was horrific. That I mean, they schedule an appointment and then she didn't show up. I mean, it's a Secretary of State sets up appointment and everything and then shows up to work on that day. I dealt with them too because when I was recording judges and district attorneys, I needed to get the records of all their bond because they have to be in correct standing, and because they couldn't provide that information for me because neither the judge nor my district attorney was in the they didn't have proper bonds, and Secretary of State has to have that record. I tried 4 times rescheduling appointments. She didn't show up 4 times. I tried to request that information via email. I'm still waiting. Complicated Secretary of State. Years. It's been years. I'm still waiting. But no, they're not treasonous trash. That Alex Jones is going to scream to us, oh, military's taking over. Oh, military's taking over. What did Alex Jones do? He played his part. He went on over there and they told him, you're going to take responsibility for us killing those children. Why is it that those parents of those dead kids are so angry at Alex Jones for telling people that it was fake? But they ain't angry at the killers, or they ain't angry at the police that didn't catch the killers. But they went and Alex Jones put on a circus show with DOJ, and they put Alex Jones is fault that they killed how many kids? And who ended up taking a fall for it? Alex fucking Jones. Ain't that a clown? He took a fall because they needed to blame somebody so Americans don't ask corrupt police departments to investigate who's killing their kids. Right, Alex Jones played his part. But he is paid to go and scream, what? Now, military's taking over America. Because if military doesn't take over, it's over for us all, bitch. Because apparently, I mean, what is happening in New Mexico, I just found out. I mean, this country, it's over. It's over. It's over, you guys. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. Super soldier program. Okay, you guys, what else you want? You wanna? Do you have any questions, you guys? Distraction, Teresa. Yeah. Yeah, it has to be that way. They're ready. Yes, there was a lot of cleaning up needed to be done in military again, because we're talking about treasonous people that know, I mean, predators took over control of our country. It's not just, I mean, I was talking about media covering up crimes against children and all of that. I mean, look, for all these years, our DOJ, everybody, our Harvard, they couldn't figure out. It didn't. It didn't look to them like that was that their beloved professor Ellen Dershowitz is covering up for crimes against children. I look at his picture at Wikipedia. I swear to you guys, it looks like he has blood on his teeth. Alan Dershowitz. Go look on his Wikipedia page where all of his crimes are listed. When exactly did he committed the crimes? um, I mean, there's a picture of him that's, but he is special, kind of narcissist. Oh, that narcissistic grin, and you can see his teeth, and it looks like he has blood on his teeth. It's disgusting. Oh, Remus, you said you remember a title of mine, one of the journals I did, Why a Mockingbird Needs a Megaphone. That was Alex Jones. Remember? He was running around with the megaphone. What a clown! That was so funny. The other clown is Mike, the health ranger. Health ranger. Oh my God. It's so funny. And then another one of those CIA clowns out there that's screaming for America is Patriot Street Fighter, another CIA show. When Patriot Street Fighter and Mike, the health ranger, had their show for first 15 minutes. Their ego was so like overwhelming that their listeners had to put up with two of them trying to talk about who has more security and who has more guns. Those are the help in America. Help in America. And they need more than 10 people security, and then they want to go and meet with people because they have something to offer. What do you have to offer to Americans that you need 10 security guards? Huh? Patriot Street Fighter. You Patriot shit fighter. That's who you are. And then this Mike, health ranger from Texas, right? He does healthy food and then he complains about America. Such a CIA shill. It's disgusting. Right? What a joke, right? They put them in there, they give them the script, and they read in there. They're terrible, terrible, terrible actors. All of them. It's like, it's just, they're terrible. It's just so funny, you guys. And I was just listening. There's another, the Imagination podcast. There's another one. She has a lot of survivors on her show. They talk about all this stuff, surviving, especially abuse, masonic abuse, and things like that. So one of the ladies, I don't remember her name, but she was talking about um, What's his name? Forgot his name. Not David Wilcox. The English guy. What's his name? Yes, big shows. What's his name? I forgot. Yeah, it's controlled opposition. But anyway, he's been oh my God. Ike. Ike. Oh, Corey Goody, actually, Teresa, do you know that he's been in court? There is actually, that's going to come out through Keystone, because that Goyim TV, that whole Corey Goody thing, he actually stole that from different people. And there is a court case in Boulder County against that. But Corey Goody and Goyim TV paid off the judge in that case as well, because there's a case of them stealing intellectual property, and it's already been through court, and the court system covered for it. So there's another case that's going to be federal that's going to include that case again. So Corey Goody is already involved in several legal things already, but again, they're just covering for the CIA control as well. I know, Teresa, can't listen. It's David Icke. That's who so she was talking about actually a lot of details. Hey, Siankovic, thank you for being here. Yeah, Ike. She was talking about because she was born into the system in New Zealand, I believe. She was born into Masonic family, so lodges and all of that stuff. So she said David Icke is a Mason, and he goes to lodges where they do perform blood rituals, because not all lodges do the blood sacrifice. It's certain degrees only, and not all the lodges do that. So David Icke, she said, does visit it. It was years ago, but David Icke goes to the ones that do the blood sacrifice. So David Icke, oh yeah, we know what you did last summer in Ukraine too. He's been in Ukraine there for the same kind of ritual too. That's why Ike goes in there. He is like he's like he's a oh he's an it's an awful, he's under curse entity. It's a blood hungry entity. It's terrible, but people will see it, and I mean he's covered for that very thing that he's doing. That's the very interesting thing. And the way they do it, like I was explaining, they speak like they're exposing, and they might be exposing some things with intent to redirect. Hey, Bruno of us. Hey, Bruno, here's to you. I'm great you made it, Bruno. Vino Fridays for you. It's back. So it comes back like, it's kind of like flips on them. Like, remember how I say it, once you flip this thing on its head, and when you're on top of the mountain, you can see and you have that experience, so you can do whatever you want. So you can flip on the head, and now it's kind of like goes the other way and rolls down, taking down everything with it. So that's why I said it feels like we're picking up so much as we go up, 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 until we come down, and then until we are there with our sort of our experience, and then we see that, oh, it's a gift. It's a gift, so it's something that I can do something with it. So this is why, I kind of like, um, can talk about this now with a little bit of fun and things like that, because there is no sort of, it's inevitable. The exposure is inevitable. And like I was saying, the tarot readers are picking up on that. I will come back to it because there's a lot of tarot readers out there that are extremely dangerous because they are putting out curses under the control of this, especially all this little women's group, those are little uh, satanic little groups, that they all, under New Age and all of that, all these circles or all these shamanic circles and all of that stuff. I even dealt with one here in California, the one that really nasty. I mean, she's Native American. Maria, Maria. But oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Um, a lot needs a lot of healing. I mean, Native American and everything, does all kinds of classes, workshops, has a ranch where it's all spiritual things, made it into a church, went with Masons, and all of that stuff. And I go and all of a sudden, it's so interesting, you guys. And I sit there, I'm like, Spirit, why am I even here? Like what she's teaching, I know it in my heart. Why am I here? And then Spirit says, well, and then, come my time to introduce who I am. And so I go, I work, I'm in tune with the land. So I typically, when I do my shamanic work, I typically get all my information by grounding and being with the land. And so I consider myself that kind of shaman. I don't do too much with people, but I said when I do work with the land, I typically do either rituals or whatever I call to do. They're my own individual that my ancestors direct me to do or anything. And it's just intent to solidify intent in physical form. I said, but I do just work with the land. I don't work with people directly. I said, I do on the side, but that's my art and hypnosis thing. So that's a different. But like my intuitive work and what I do as a shaman is directly related to the clearing of the land and things that I have to do with the land and my connections to the land through my ancestors. So Maria goes and embarrasses herself in front of everybody. And she said, don't ever tell a Native American that you work with the land. And I look at her like, really? Why is that? Why is that, Maria? Ramona, California. Oh, Maria. Because her spirituality only goes skin deep. That's why Maria don't want anybody who's not Native American to be connected to the land. Oh, Maria, how embarrassing. And she is one of the Native American shamans. Ooh, I was supposed to be I'm like, oh, your spirituality goes skin deep. Oh, boo boo, kid. Skin deep, Teresa. Don't tell Native Americans that you work with the land because it's not your thing to do. Bitch, look at your feet and look at mine. We're standing on the same land, bitch. And didn't you see it? Do you need glasses, bitch? Or you just want to see you can't see beyond my skin? We're standing, our feet are standing on the same freaking foot of land. Same freaking grass. What are you talking about? I mean, that's their spirituality. Half retarded. They're spiritual. They're spiritual. She was like, and then she goes ahead and attempts to access my Akashic record. And then when I don't come back, she writes to me, we need a quarrel, not consensus. I'm like, bitch, who are you? Why am I going to be arguing with you? I just want to see you ever again. Go ahead and be your skin deep spirituality. So stupid to see that our feet are planted on the same freaking land. And you're going to tell me that because my skin color doesn't match yours, that I cannot ground to the same land, that I cannot have the same relationship? Are you freaking kidding me? And you're the shaman. You're worldwide known shaman. You're dumber than a doorknob. That's what you are, Maria, Maria. Imagine that, Teresa. Oh, the level of that. Like, what are you doing? What are you talking about? And the rest of 10 people over there, like, looking, and the rest of them are all white too. We're all white. And she's the only one. It's like, we're the ones who paying you money here. And what? You telling us that we don't deserve your spirituality level because we are not Native Americans? How is that not skin deep? Spirituality. Freaking shaman. Ancient shaman. She's sharing native wisdom. No. No. It's like unfreaking believable. And then she thinks she has the right to my Akashic records. And I am talking to her. Well, I'm from, I'm from Eastern Europe. I'm this and that. And she sits there. And everything I say, what she counts is how she can benefit from me being part of her group. Every time I say something that could benefit her, her finger goes down. And I see it here on the back of my head. I'm like, oh, keep counting, keep counting. This belongs to God, none of you bitches. Maria thought that I was gonna go ahead and drop all of my energy in front of her feet because she had a Native American skin. But she didn't have decency enough to respect Native American teachings. She didn't have decency enough to respect her own ancestors. She only wanted me to accept them as her skin fucking deep. Maria, remember how your ancestors told you I'm two strikes? So here's a message from two strikes. Your skin deep spirituality is not going to get you anywhere. Time for karma, bitch. You shouldn't have accessed my Akashic record. You know the penalties for that, bitch. You shouldn't have done it. She's going to get this video. Maria, Maria, don't access and then cry Argentina to me. Don't access what you shouldn't be accessing. All right, sad, false, trying to appear real. Yeah, it's sad. And then she demands that anyone who has gifts comes and surrenders it to her. Huh? Again, Maria. Yes, they need permission. She tried, Teresa, she tried to get permission for me. So she tried to ask, can we pray for you? I said, yes, you can pray for me. And then when she used that to access my Akashic record, I emailed her and I said, I did ask you to pray for me. Never, ever did I give you permission to access my Akashic record. So the penalties you're receiving, it's not me doing that. You did it to yourself. But she was the one who telling me that I cannot call myself gypsy. Oh. Oh, okay. Anyway, you guys, but it's already been an hour. Well, hey, you guys, so Ankush, yeah, so I actually is gonna come out. There is gonna be some people that's gonna be witnesses that eventually will come out because they're already coming out. And what I'm finding out in this last couple of years, you guys, and you guys can go and see. There's a lot of new sort of people that are coming out with the truth. Those that experience stuff, those that experience and now have the experience to back up their wisdom or knowledge with. Because collecting knowledge doesn't really get you far. Wisdom is what can get you far. And so we see a lot of new people coming up. And you guys, I kind of went um, a couple of days ago. I think I went in my old account, and I just kind of I had in this actually this YouTube channel. I have still subscribed to all those people that when I originally came out in 2014 and 15, that I was doing interviews with, going on their shows, like Randy Morgan, like Lisa Harrison. Um, Alfred Weber, all of that group, David Wilcox. So I kind of went and I had all of their channels were in here. So, because I used to be subscribed to them on this channel. So I went to their channels just to kind of see where they are. Oh my God, they're all kind of took break too in the last couple of years when I was in here, and they're all trying to come back, and none of them had actually managed to keep their audience. And I was so surprised. Well, David Wilcock, it seems like he kept his audience, but his YouTube is his videos comes out with already, I think 60 or 80. I don't remember for him, 80,000. So the first second it comes out, it's already has 80,000 views. So that's how they operate. And I've looked at all of them, and it just kind of, just looked for a few minutes just to see where they are right now. Oh my God, so pathetic. So pathetic. No growth at all. It's so pathetic. And it's just there's begun to have Ramus. Absolutely. Um Yes. So, Ramus, you said Akashic record. There is nobody can access my real Akashic records. That's what's funny about it, because all they do is the copy, and the copy of the records is they manipulate, and then they wanted to access it as though they're real. Well, you shouldn't have manipulated it, and then you think that that's supposed to how it's supposed to be. Because it's like because the copy of the record in this matrix, you can't have a real record. You have to be out of this reality in order to access the real record, and only those that can access it through within. And that's why I say a shaman cannot heal you. A shaman can initiate a healing for you, but you got to do it your work. You have to do your work. And so the same thing with accessing your Akashic record. So the Akashic record, you're absolutely correct, Ramus, because what they're accessing is the copy that is for this matrix. And what I found out that my real Akashic record put a copy into this matrix to distract and to because what I found out that as Hayoka empath, you can the Hayoka empath, what separates you from a regular empath is that Hayoka empath knows absolutely the difference between mirroring and projecting, and can do both, and can do it without difference. So external sources can never know when you are projecting or if you're mirroring energy. And so that's why it seems like they're accessing that Akashic record, but they're only accessing that what we want to project to them. Or they think they're accessing my Akashic record, but my energy can just go ahead and mirror their energy back to them. And all of that stuff. So this is, I found out when, again, how powerful this actually ability is, because that completely takes the enemy off track. They don't know if you're projecting or if you're mirroring. And if they think that they manipulated you, and now they manipulated you to project at them your energy, the way they manipulated you and they think. But what you're doing is you mirroring instead as a Hayoka empath. And what happens is they're getting their karma back. So that's why I said a Hayoka empath is a walking, talking karma. That's why people who come into our presence, they're immediately start dealing. All of their stuff is starts coming to the surface. It's kind of the energy is so powerful. And so, yes, Ramus, thank you. I confirm your experience. Um, so stealing, it's called stealing. Yes. So they want to steal it by tricking you into projecting your energy onto them. So that's a typical narcissistic move. Okay. So that's how they operate. You guys, it's just in when I was talking to you guys that I developed this whole art therapy healing. It's for a really severe cases of that abuse in children, especially sexual abuse and all of that stuff. And this is how it happened at the Rosicrucian Fellowship here in Oceanside, because the members are abused. Like the pastor Jean, they were hiding from me, but I think the lady that's in her like mid 30s in there, Stacy, she is an artist herself. She's been to art classes, but she's not an art teacher. But she's so damaged, they're hiding from me, that I think she is his daughter, but I don't know for sure if Stacy's Jean's daughter or not. But she told me, because I know how to ask people questions, she told me that he molested her and had relations with her when she was a child. And so now she is in there, and she is now looking at me doing art classes. So she wants to be an art teacher. So I'm like, okay, so why don't you help me be my assistant right now? She's like, okay. And so that one time, you guys, I even had that picture on my Facebook. In one of my classes, I said, okay, here's a child with special needs. Okay, so he needs attention, right? So you help him because I have other students here, so I can pay attention, and you just stick with him. So instead of helping him paint, she took over his painting and started painting, because she doesn't she wants to be teacher, but she needs to heal. It classes for her. But she's so damaged because that her father abused her as a child. Now this father is a pastor of this church. He's in charge. And she's trying to please her father still. I mean, there's so much damage in there that the only way I knew how to try to help them is to do art classes, because through art, that kind of damage is you can try to heal so much. I mean, she was a child prostitute, but and this is the picture. It's the evidence of that severe sickness, mental illness. She took over a 7-year-old kids with special needs. She took over his painting and pushed him out to the side. And she thinks it's normal, but she thinks she's a teacher. She teaches how to do art. And I was in shock how, but at the same time, I do what I can. And so if I am gifted with being able to teach art classes, that's what I do. So anyway, I am again one over one. I know, don't feed them. I know, and they end up. This is how much they are. This is the same daughter. I am not sure if she is his daughter. Um, Jean. This is the one. He's got. I mean, he snorts coke. I mean, it takes. I don't know. He fried his brain. The guy brain is fried from coke. He abused his daughter when she was a child. Now he's talking about He wrote a book, stole intellectual property from somebody, and he wanted to be popular with his book. So he is thinking that I'm doing art classes to give him popularity. She is in competition with her father because she wants to be a teacher. So they together end up stealing all of my equipment and kicking me out. And they wanted to do the art classes. I mean, they're literally sick, mentally ill people. And yeah, they stole all of my equipment. I brought all of my art equipment. I bought all of the easels for the students that started showing up because they didn't have enough easels. So I bought everything. I turned a little house into art studio with all my own money. And then they turned around, wanted to get a restraining order that I wanted to come and steal their art supplies. I have receipts for everything. I mean, these people are sick in their head. And this is the same daughter then texted me later that her friends are looking to kill me. And she texts me, and they think that's not evidence. I mean, this is how sick these people are. This is the Rosicrucian Fellowship in Oceanside. They needed to end my life. That was their intent, and they were gonna do it one way or another. And that's what I documented as well. So there's a lot of crimes that's going to be all coming out. A lot of that CIA infiltration into all this new age, you guys. All of those are all CIA agents. Those are all Masonic uh, managers of secrets. Managers of secrets. Yeah, close your ears. You don't need to know that David Ikes goes to different lodges than you do. David Icke goes to special lodges. He's very special. He goes to Ukraine. He likes them young. He likes them young. David Icke likes them young. He's that punk. Imagine all this big man go for little innocence because they don't have the manhood to be with the real, or they don't feel like they're good enough for a real woman. Or a man for that matter. Nothing against gays at all. Like my handler wannabe. Just be gay. Don't come pretend that you're not gay. I mean, trying to convince me that you're not gay. I mean, it's funny. Anyway, well, Teresa, yes, they show their own colors. Absolutely. So, yes. And Ramos stealing by insulting. Yes, Maria really counted on my energy. And it's not gonna happen, Maria. I'm always alone. I only count on eternity. She was really wanted to get me under her control. Oh, she wanted. She really tried. She really tried. She thought that just because she was Native American skin and her skin deep knowledge that I was gonna surrender my all of my power to her. It was unbelievable. And then she kept poking and poking and poking. She did more than just accessing my Akashic records. She did a lot more. Oh, she did regret it, did you, Maria? Two strikes. You guys, actually, this is my native name, Two Strikes. Learn what that means. Very, very different from any other things. So my path is very unique, you guys, and I'm so grateful to each and all of you guys that are here. I love you so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching this with me. We're going to go through this. There's going to be a lot of new things, but we're ready for transformation. Don't you guys? I'm ready for this. Definitely ready. All right. Love you all so much. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Until next time, stay wild, everyone.